Welcome back. Get comfortable. Maybe grab a blanket, dim the lights a little. And if you happen to have a glass of something nearby, even better. Tonight we're going to talk about wine, but not in a stuffy, intimidating way. Think of this like a quiet conversation between friends, the kind you have at the end of a long day when everything finally slows down. I want to introduce you to a red wine that doesn't always get the spotlight it deserves. It's bold, rich, and once you try it, you might wonder why you didn't know about it sooner. We're talking about Malbec, a wine with a big personality, deep colors, and stories rooted in some really beautiful corners of the world. So let's ease into it. Malbec. If you haven't had it yet, you're in for a treat. And if you have, maybe tonight you'll hear something that makes you appreciate it a little more. Malbec originally comes from France, specifically the Southwest. It's been grown there for centuries. But here's the interesting thing. Malbec didn't really become famous until it found a new home, and that home is Argentina. When European winemakers brought Malbec to Argentina in the 1800s, something almost magical happened. The high altitude of the Andes Mountains, the dry sunny days, the cool nights, all of it transformed this grape into something extraordinary. Argentina, particularly a region called Mendoza, became the heartland of Malbec as we know it today. So what does Malbec actually taste like? Picture this. You take a sip, and there's this deep, velvety richness that coats your mouth. Think plum, blackberry, maybe a little bit of dark chocolate. Some bottles have a hint of violet, yes, like the flower, and a gentle earthiness underneath. It's smooth, it's round, and it has this lovely softness that makes it very approachable, especially if you're newer to red wines. The texture is what a lot of people fall in love with first. Malbec tends to feel full and plush without being overwhelming. It doesn't have the sharp edges that some other reds can have. It's a wine that feels like it wants to be enjoyed slowly. Malbec pairs beautifully with food, though you certainly don't need anything to enjoy it. If you are eating, think about hearty, savory things, grilled meats, a mushroom stew, a good cheese board, even a dark chocolate brownie at the end of the night. The wine has enough richness to hold its own alongside bold flavors. One more thing about Malbec, it's incredibly accessible in terms of price. You don't have to spend a lot to find a really lovely bottle. That's part of why it's become so popular in recent years, and honestly, it's well deserved. Wine is one of those wonderful things that gets better the more curious you become. Not because you need to know everything, but because the curiosity itself is part of the pleasure. Thank you so much for spending this time with me tonight. I hope your evening feels a little quieter, a little cozier. If you enjoyed this, the next episode is waiting for you whenever you're ready. Until then, rest easy and sleep well.